Hello, everyone. So, today we are listening to Atif Aslam again, and this particular track from Coke Studio Season 6 called Channa is one of my all time favorites from Coke Studio. And all time favorite from Atif Aslam as well. So, this is this is a track that I always keep on my playlist, and it's 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 something that I consume a lot. And yeah, we'll talk about it once we listen to this song together. I'm sure most of the audience would have listened to it, but let's listen it together and then we talk about it.
Let's do it. Three, two, one, play. In season 6, the use of a string section has been amazing.
तेरे प्यार दी ऐनी छावे ठंडी लगदी ऐ मैनू हर थावे चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी बांह तेरे प्यार दी ऐनी छावे ठंडी लगदी ऐ मैनू हर थावे चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी बांह
The lyrics are beautiful.
चन्ना
These are penned by Atif himself.
मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी बांह तू मेरा मान है कदी तोड़ी ना वे दई रखी बस तू कदमां च थावे सोने तू हुण आवे भावे ना वे चस पै गया ई उडीकां दा वे चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी बांह चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी
Each and every instrument is so distinct at this particular time. You could easily just listen to.
तू दसे ते रंग ला जान वे सोनी हो जावां जद तेरे कोल बावे लू लू विच तेरी दीद रवावे नहीं रह सकदी तेरे बिना चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा नाम चुमदी रहनिया अपनी बांह चन्ना लिख के मैं तेरा
All right.
Effortless.
The way he has performed this track, it feels like this track means a lot to him,
Hmm. It seems so. Yeah. He has
right?
penned the lyrics himself.
Yeah, and amazing lyrics. I mean, the 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 beauty and the simplicity of the lyrics is
Hmm.
they were very cute.
Absolutely. It is about that innocent feeling or
Yeah,
juvenile feeling of love. Yeah. So
yeah.
it was really refreshing for me to see Atif coming up with something. And I tell you why I love this song from Atif, or why is it in my all-time favorite list from Atif actually. So we haven't reacted to many songs from Atif, I think. On our channel, we did Bhigi Yadein, which was from his first album. And I don't remember if we have covered any other, probably one or two more songs.
Jalpari.
Jalpari maybe, yeah. But I used to remember or associate Atif with the Biggie Yade track because that was the Atif I always used to love. That the free sounding or just gritty, passionate about music kind of Atif that I used to listen growing up, and he was just so how should I put it? He sounded so carefree when he used to sing those early songs. And Biggie Yadav was prime example of it. He was just into the rock star mode, not really cautious about how the music is being progressing, how everything is progressing. He was just focused on putting out what he had in his art.
He wasn't that self-conscious at
He
that
wasn't.
time.
He wasn't that self-conscious. I just used to love that version of Atif. And then there was an era when he became a Bollywood artist because he was involved in a lot of Bollywood tracks, and it felt a bit forced on some occasions. Some tracks became hit even though they were not really good, but they became hit because obviously the marketing, then there was Atif's name attached to it, big actors performing on those tracks. But those songs were not fulfilling or did not satiate, or I would say it wasn't really fulfilling for me in that sense. And then this season came, season six, and Atif performed this track. I watched the behind the scenes of this track, and I got to see other side of Atif, which was more sensitive, more nuanced. Just how should I put it? He was more careful. Not, I would say, in terms of singing, but very sensitive, having very sensitive approach towards music. He was expressive, but he had that. If you listen to this particular track, he was just playing with his vocals throughout. He was going soft in the beginning and the intro, extremely soft and sensitive to just set the tone. Then as the track progressed, he reached the crescendo, and he also elevated obviously his pitch and his throw as well, but in a very beautiful manner. He was a bit self-conscious, but it was done with a lot of sensitivity, and he actually had that element of innocence in this particular track, which I think nobody else could have done justice with. I'm pretty sure if anyone else had rendered this track, it wouldn't have come out the same way that Atif has sung it. And yeah, this is a love song, through and through love song, and the emotion that he has captured in this track through his vocals is just mind-boggling for me.
Exactly, exactly. So this is what stands out for me as well. Whenever I hear this, it feels like it's very personal with him. It's
Yeah.
very close to him, and it means a lot to him. The way he has
Hmm.
delivered it, the way he has expressed himself with this particular. As you mentioned, there's certain innocence in the lyrics,
Hmm.
and he did justice to that particular bit as well.
Hmm.
And he,
Absolutely.
whenever you look at this particular track, Atif looks young as
Hmm.
compared to now,
Of
right?
course.
But you're surprised that not only he looks young, he sounds young, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which this particular lyrics demand, right? This
Hmm.
particular track demands.
Hmm.
And for me, this track, I mean, I love the arrangement
Hmm.
of it far more, especially throughout the season six. The string section, the bass
Absolutely.
in this particular track was brilliant.
Brilliant. Brilliant bass.
Right, that
Yeah.
the bass throughout this track was something that accompanied the track very well. The lyrics, I enjoyed the lyrics far more. I kept, getting lost in the
Hmm.
lyrics.
Hmm.
The way they were expressed, It was such simple lines, but the way they were expressed, it was just brilliant. I kept reminiscing my younger days when when this could have been much more truer.
Hmm.
Uh, but again, the precision of so you also mentioned a very very good point about him being very carefree and not
Hmm.
self-conscious. That I mean, this is. I was just wondering that when it comes to Atif, and recently as well, a lot of the people, when someone becomes famous, there's a lot of focus on precision of notes,
Hmm.
sur and
Hmm. Hmm.
tal,
Hmm. Hmm.
and how he's delivering his pronunciation and all. But me and probably our generation, me and you, we grew up in a music scene which was actually carefree, you
Yes,
know,
true.
which was actually not self-conscious. They
Hmm.
just wanted to do whatever came to
True.
them, right? they
True.
they were free. There was total freedom of music, and there was a lot of experimentation. Early days of Atif, early days of Jal,
Hmm.
there's this free spirit
Hmm.
element to their
Hmm.
music. There's no focus on precision of notes.
Hmm. Hmm.
How the surs are
Hmm.
delivered, how the tal is delivered. How these time signatures and all,
Hmm.
how it fits the music theory and all that.
Hmm.
It was just music, and this is what actually masses enjoy.
Hmm.
When you are free spirited, when you're not
Absolutely.
self-conscious,
Hmm.
you are just delivering your passion. Yeah? You're enjoying yourself.
Enjoying it.
this is
Yeah.
where, this is what masses enjoy. And then when you start looking at criticism, and you start taking it seriously, and then you
Hmm.
start confining yourself,
Hmm.
this is when you become Atif Aslam of Bollywood. Although I'm not saying that Atif Aslam of Bollywood, he delivered some amazing work, and
Yeah.
some of the tracks, even though I'm not into Bollywood that much, some of the tracks I always enjoy.
Hmm.
You know, he has transformed. Atif Aslam has have his episodes of evolution, you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
and recently he has been experimenting again. He has given
Hmm.
him more freedom, because I think he has reached a point where he doesn't care much now.
True. True.
It,
The recent Coke
it's
Studio season 14 is prime example of that. That.
right,
Yeah.
the R&B
Hmm.
version of Atim
Hmm.
Aslam.
Hmm.
What was the track's name? I'm forgetting it.
Sajan Dasna.
Sajan Dasna, right?
Hmm.
So he's now risen above everything, above criticism,
True. True.
right? and
Absolutely.
and people love him for that.
Hmm.
So it's I mean, in each of his evolutionary state, he has
Hmm.
delivered amazing work, and most of it comes down to his natural variables, right?
Hmm.
His
Yeah.
voice, his talent, his
Hmm.
delivery, his throws, but also his passion, right? Also, the kind of person he is as a human being, right,
Hmm.
also comes out in
Yeah.
everything he does. So that's Atif Aslam. But here, this early Atif Aslam, as you have been describing,
Hmm.
also is the essence of the track. But for me, the lyrics and the
Hmm.
arrangement, again, throughout the season
Hmm.
six, took the cake.
Absolutely.
Hallmark of Coke Studio, not only season six, but from the very beginning. Apart from season one and two, where the recording quality is not that like
Hmm.
high definition,
Hmm.
but since they did have high definition stuff, season three, four, especially season four onwards, the quality of
Quality.
production is the benchmark,
Hmm. Absolutely.
right? As you were mentioning, that every single instrument was, distinctly
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. Absolutely. You mentioned about I mean the production quality of season 6 especially felt pretty amazing to me because there are certain underrated tracks. We did one from Ali Azman,
Sawal Kunde.
Sawal Kande Hote. Even in that track, I always think that season 6 has been um, an underrated season of Coke Studio for
Yes.
me. It wasn't too flashy. Probably that could be the reason, probably marketing or
Yes.
something. But in terms of sound quality, the production quality, it was probably one of the best seasons I've come across. Talking about the lyrics itself, I remember watching the behind the scenes of this track, and Rohail Hayat actually. There's a line in this, the simplicity of this particular track, and the lyrics of this track are so simple and so innocent. There was one line which literally hooked Rohail Hayat, and that was Atif sings, "Chess pe gaya hai udi ka," yani I have gotten addicted to just your sight. And I could still remember Rohail Hayat like that line so much that he was just complimenting Atif again and again about this particular line. Also, I noticed maybe it's just my way of perceiving Rohail's music or his production, but the bass and the guitar licks throughout this particular track felt kind of gave me the vibe of Vital Signs as well, especially the bass for some reason. And it felt like it was the signature style of Vital Signs that they have done in their past work, especially I think um, the albums that came. I'm forgetting the album name. There was a track called Mola, and in that album, the bass and the guitar licks actually sounded like this track as well. So the signature stamp is throughout this track from Ruhail.
Sensibilities throughout his tenure with Coke Studio do show up. But one thing that was like amazing with Vital Signs, and they were ahead of their time during that period, was the use of unique use of arrangement. So there was this guitars and
Mm,
keys,
mm,
in every particular track and some bass,
mm.
but the unique use of different instruments like
True.
percussions, use of this surahi, this I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what you call it,
Yeah,
and but, this earth-based percussions and skin-based percussions. Every
mm.
single track had a very different,
Different.
unique
Yeah.
set of setting, which
Mm-hmm.
which again I think evolved into Coke Studio, and he continued experimenting with that,
Mm.
and it culminated. I think that was the peak. Season 6 was a peak where he went abroad, brought in a lot of foreign
Mm. Artists.
musicians,
Mm.
right? Musicians, and the strings sections stands out, and throughout the
Stands out
season,
throughout the
in
season. It's
all of
Strangers.
the
Mm.
tracks, right? And
Yeah.
also there's a signature sound in the string section even.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see the parallels between Sawal Kandeote and Channa's string section.
Mm-hmm.
There was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You could draw the parallels from that track as well. But yeah, I think I have been sharing quite a lot of my favorite tracks, so probably the onus of responsibility is on you that you should drop some of your favorite tracks with us and share with
I
us.
if I start doing that, um, my favorite ones are like 30 minutes long, 16 minutes long. So, are you ready for that?
I am absolutely.
All right, all right.
All
We will
right,
do that someday.
let's conclude it here. And yeah, let us know your thoughts around this particular track and any other Atif Aslam track that you might recall or appreciate. And we'll catch up on the next one then. Until then, take care.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.